So, yes, Mataji, please read this one on acquiring perfect translation skills.
On acquiring mental knowledge, one attains qualitative equality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, becomes liberated, free from the cycle of birth and death. But even liberated souls retain individual identity and always engage in transcendental, loving, devotional service of the Lord. Knowledge obtained in the material world is contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Knowledge not contaminated by three modes of nature is transcendental knowledge. In transcendental knowledge, one is on the same platform as the Lord. The ignorant feel spiritual world lacks the variety of material world. Actually, in spiritual existence, one has a spiritual form, performs spiritual activities called devotional service. The spiritual atmosphere is absolutely uncontaminated. To obtain this knowledge, one must develop spiritual qualities by which he is not affected by the creation or destruction of the material world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is again the summary is being given here, that one who rises above three modes of material nature reaches the transcendental platform and attains the same qualities as Lord Krishna, but these qualities are basically in a qualitative manner only. Quantitatively, the living entity remains as he is or as he is, but the individuality is maintained. He attains the transcendental platform, reaches Goloka Vrindavana, qualitatively same as Lord Krishna, but individuality of the living entity is maintained. That means he remains separate from Krishna and keeps on performing loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. So this is how this mechanism works. And the result is that person who has reached a state of transcendental platform, there is no rebirth for that person. And so why Lord Krishna is now telling in the last sentence, after obtaining this knowledge, which I am going to give now regarding three modes of material nature, one should attain or try to obtain a spiritual quality or adopt or develop spiritual qualities so that he moves further ahead, away from these, above these three modes of material nature. Anybody else would like to read?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not getting the screen.
Oh, is it? No,
Yeah, maybe my internet issue or what, I don't know.
14,
I don't know about others.
14.3. Odiya Mataji, are you with?
Yeah, we are getting, we can see it.
Okay.
Yes, 14.3.
I think I must be having a issue. Maybe after some time, let's see if internet.
Rina Mataji would like.
Now I got it, Prabhuji.
Okay, then fine.
No, again, when I expand it, it is going.
Oh, problem with bandwidth.
Maybe problem with my thing.
Srila Mataji would like to read. Otherwise, Srila Mataji, we continue, please, because others have problems. Mom Yoni.
Yes, Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Srila Mataji, if you are there, please.
Mam yonir hridam brahma tasmin garbham tashyamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Thank you, Mataji. So we will remember from past verses that there are three Brahmans. One, Brahman effulgence, the absolute truth. Second, the living entity, soul, which is also eternal and absolute. And third is material nature. Material nature also called as Brahman. So what happens when the soul leaves the body, then Lord Krishna glances over it And Lord says that Aham Bij Prada Prita. He is a seed-giving father. So he looks at or has a glance over the soul. And as soon as he glances over the soul, the material nature or the Brahman or Mahat Tattva, which is called, it becomes activated. And when Mahat Tattva becomes activated, out of the Mahat Tattva, 24 elements come out and they make a life form or the body, physical body of that living entity. We know the body is composed of 24 elements. We have already studied. So material nature is said to be the mother, and the Lord Krishna is said to be the father. So father impregnates the mother. Mother is the material nature. Father is Lord Krishna. His glance impregnates this material nature, and the result is there is a living form or created. And material nature fashions the body according to the three modes of material nature, to which this person is going to adopt on account of his past karma and also past desires. So Lord saying that I impregnate Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. How it is possible? Because material nature, I look at the material nature, and material nature immediately look at the soul, and the material nature immediately forms a body for that based on desires and other things. So this is called how impregnation of material nature takes place and a life form is created. And Lord, after creation of this life form, continues to accompany as a friend in the form of super soul. Yes, Mataji. Direction.
The three the three modes of material nature, introduction and glorification of this knowledge. First, understanding this chapter help one. Second, to attain liberation and transcendental nature like Krishna. It's a 14.2. Knowing which all the sagas have attained the supreme perfection.
We have already read, in fact, that by philosophical understanding of this chapter, many sages, many people have got liberation. They have risen to the transcendental platform and attained the transcendental equality with Krishna and Goloka Vrindavan, maintaining their individuality and rendering loving devotional service to Lord. So this is the supreme perfection of life if one can reach this. So this is just repetition here. Yes, Mataji. Everything.
Everything that takes place in the world is due to the combination of Kshetra, that's the body, and Kshetrasana, spirit soul, brought about by the Supreme Lord. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible the Supreme God Himself. The Mahatattva is the total cause of total cosmic manifestation. Innumerable universe are formed by the impregnation of the total substance by the Supreme Lord. The material substance, the three modes of nature is called Brahma. Mundaka Upanishada 1.1.19. Tasmad etat Brahma nama rupam anam ka jayate. The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of the living entities. The 24 elements begin from earth, water, fire, and air are all material energy, and they constitute what is called Mahad Brahma or the Great Brahma, the material nature. Hare Krishna.
So again, this is the same repetition of what we are saying, but in a detailed manner, that Lord glances over the soul, the material nature is activated, or Mahat Tattva is activated, and material nature immediately imparts or fashions a particular form of body, life form of that particular soul, maybe animal or a beast or a tree or an insect or a bird or aquatic, whatever it is. So out of 84 lakhs, we have seen that so many life forms are there. Beasts are 31 lakhs. Then there are plants and trees, which are 20 lakhs. Then there are insects, 11 lakhs. Thereafter, there are birds, which are 10 lakhs. And then aquatics are 9 lakhs. And human being are only 4 lakhs. Human being includes demigods also. So any form can be obtained based on the past karma and desires of the living entity. And Lord, as I mentioned, is the father. He is the seed-giving father. Aham, Bij, Pratah, Prata, Pita, and mother becomes the material nature because of it fashions the body. And this is the role how mother does. Mother gives a body to the baby. Yes, Mataji.
All living entities are born following the mixture of the material nature with the superior nature by the will of Supreme Lord. Analogy: if young scorpions come out of a pile or rice in which it laid, the rice is not the cause of the birth of the young scorpions. The mother scorpion is the cause. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of birth of all living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Lord. Living entities comes out as product of the material nature. Every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. Very nice verse.
Thank you.
Analogy is very good, and similarly,
Past deeds and desires. Now, analogy, it is something very nice analogy. What happens, that if one sees that a scorpion is coming out, a baby scorpion is coming out of rice, that one thinks that probably rice is the source of this baby scorpion. But what has happened actually, the scorpion, mother scorpion went into the pile of rice, laid eggs and left that place. So the scorpion, the rice is not the cause of baby scorpion. The mother scorpion is the cause of babies because mother scorpion has laid eggs in the pile of this rice. So similarly, living entities are day and night, numerous life forms are being created, but by the material nature. But who is creating them? The glance of Lord Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who looks at the the soul, and based on the desire and past deed, the last verse here mentioned, based on the desire of and unfulfilled desires and past deeds of that living form, the material nature fashions a particular type of body, those 84 lakhs. So this gives an explanation how Mahat Tattva acts and how Mahat Brahma is created. Mahat Brahma, the entire material nature is called Mahat Tattva, Mahat Brahma, because material nature is basically Brahma, and Mahat Tattva is the activating force which impregnates the mother material nature. So living entities are seen everywhere. We see everywhere, all the living entities all around us, these life forms, insects, beasts, animals, birds, trees, plants, and aquatics, and also. So they are present at every level, in air, in water, as well as on the ground. This is continuing here. So, but Lord is not concerned. Lord is just sitting in his Goloka Vrindavan, enjoying here with the association of his pure devotees. Yes, one more, Mataji. Sir, when she got.
Prabhuji, I'd like to take your pardon. I'm on drive and kids are with me, so there is so much loud. Please, anyone else could read out.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Now
yes,
it is
I request you,
okay.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Sarvayonishu kaunteya मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनिर् aham बीजप्रदः पिता. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giver father.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is
Hare
what
Krishna.
God himself is proclaiming now. We see living entities all over the place. birds, beasts, animals, insects and aquatics, and as well as human beings or living beings. And they are created by Mahat Brahma, that is material nature. How material nature creates? Because Lord glances over the soul based on desires and past deeds. The soul is impregnated, the material Mahat Tattva is impregnated, and the material nature immediately fashions a body. This is how, and the analogy we have already seen, that Lord is not visible there, but so many life forms are being created every millions are being created every second. So, but the analogy is that the rise is not the material nature is not the cause of these life form. The Lord Krishna, his glance over the soul is the cause of these creations, because he activates the Mahat Tattva. So material nature becomes the mother, and father becomes Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna says, Aham Bij Pradah Prita. He is the seed-giving father, which causes. Yes, Mataji. Supreme Lord Krishna is there.
Sorry, I had not unmuted it.
Oh, please.
Supreme Lord Krishna is the original father of all living entities. The living entities are products of the material nature and the spiritual nature. Such living entities are seen not only on this planet, but on every planet, even on the highest, where Brahma is situated. They are within the earth, water, and fire. All these appearances are due to the mother, material nature, and Krishna's seed-giving process. Conclusion: the material world is impregnated with living entities that come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds. Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. This needs no explanation. We have already covered this aspect. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father, Bhagavad Gita 14.4. And these are the life forms. You can see here aquatic lives, then there are aquatic life, there are insects, there are birds, there are animals, beasts, and there are human beings. So this is summary of verse number 3 and 4. Mahat Tattva, Lord, this is a cosmic Vedic cosmology where it is showing that Lord Krishna is lying in the Karnak Dokshai Vishnu as born here. Then there is Gokuladham, which is present there. Then these are other divine figures. And this Karana ocean or the causal ocean, Mahat Tattva, is activated, and how this Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is also a living entity. He has a lifespan. So that is what is mentioned here. The greatest planet, that is the highest planet, is Brahma's planet. So, yes, Mataji. This summary of verse number 3 and 4.
The three modes of material nature. How the soul comes into the material world and is placed within the modes of material nature. Mahat Tattva, Karana ocean, Vraja river. Material nature is the mother supplying living entity with the body. 14.3. The Lord puts him there by his potent glance and thus impregnates the material nature with the seed.
So we have already gone through this one. Now section B deals with description of binding of the first part was how the soul assumes a form or life form or body is assigned to a particular soul. That is what was discussed in section 1. Now section 2 deals with the soul, how it is bound by three modes of material nature. This is second section. Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah.
14.5.
That's on, no?
Yeah.
Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibadannanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. 14.5. Material nature consists of the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the living entity comes in contact with nature, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Now, immediately a question comes: when soul is transcendental, originally part and parcel of Lord Krishna, then why we suffer? Because this is Lord saying here that one becomes, the soul becomes conditioned, becomes contaminated by the three modes, that is either in a mode of goodness or a passion or in ignorance. And when this rope of these three guna binds our soul, we become conditioned. We start behaving in a particular manner only, whether in a mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance. The result is these three gunas. Lord is nirguna. Nirguna means he is not affected by three modes. He has got lot of attributes. He has lot of qualities or special features. But he is not, he is the creator, controller of three modes of material. So he is not affected by that. But we are affected because we are material person. And the result is when we are in mode of goodness, whether we can know through our practical example in our lives also, whether we are in mode of goodness, whether we are in mode of passion or we are in mode of ignorance, we are always suffering. Miseries are always following us or accompanying us. So why? Because the soul was pure, pristine, pure and clear, it came in contact with three modes of material nature. Material nature, it became bound by the three modes of material nature and the suffering. This is the beginning of suffering and miseries. So different bodies and their activities under the different modes, they are the cause of diversities and also varieties rather. And they, in each, either there is happiness or there is distress or sorrow. So this is how conditioning affects the individual. Yes, Mataji. But the roles, just a minute. But the soul is Satchitananda Swarupa because it is part of Lord. Lord is Satchitananda Swarupa. So that is eternal, full of knowledge. Lord is full of eternity. He never perishes. Then it also is full of knowledge and also very blissful mood. So our soul is also same figure is given here. Eternal living entity soul is transcendental in nature originally, but Satchitananda it is called. Yes, Mataji, when it comes in contact.
Yeah. Material nature consisting of three modes: eternal living entity soul, transcendental Sat Chit Ananda, comes in contact
With first in goodness.
goodness, passion, ignorance.
Then it becomes
Conditioned by modes, the LE is forced to act according to these modes.
so we know
Living entity.
that we become compulsive doer of what our mode says. Whether we are in a mode of goodness, a person in mode of goodness, but these are not constant. The three modes of material nature during even one particular daytime, the modes vary. In the morning, early morning time of Brahma Muhurti, we are in mode of goodness. And as soon as day begins, we become active and we become job, tension of job or work and this activity, that activity become involved in many kind of endeavors. And during night time, when we are tired, then the mode of ignorance takes over us. So, and there is always a competition between the three, and each mode wants to attain supremacy on over us. So these are how the pure soul has come into contact with material nature and represent the three, either of three modes. Yes, Mataji.
The transcendental living entity has nothing to do with material nature. He is conditioned by the material world. The material world is a manifestation of the Lord's external inferior energy. So he acts under the spell of the three modes of material nature. Living entities have different kinds of bodies with different natures. They are induced to act according to their specific natures. Hence, suffer varieties of happinesses and distresses. Hare
So,
Krishna.
happiness and distress. Happiness is a feature of mode of goodness. Activity is a feature of mode of passion, because a person who is in mode of passion, he wants to dominate, he wants to work very hard to earn a lot of money, to possess a house and a very good living status. But he's never satisfied. Whatever he attains by hard work, he still keeps on doing. He will do overtime to earn more and more money. So that leads to activity, lot of endeavor. And the distresses, they are result of mode of ignorance, because mode of ignorance, person is mad, intoxicated. He is unsure. He is not sure about what he is doing. He does not possess any knowledge about the mode of goodness. So this is how the three modes of material nature. Yeah, three modes of material nature are.
The three modes of material nature are the mode of goodness, actions or pious; the mode of passion, action or over-ambitious; the mode of ignorance, actions or foolish.
Yeah. So mode of goodness, we know. Well, there is a disadvantage also in each of. There are many disadvantages in each of the three modes. Goodness is also not perfect. The person who is very charitable but does lot of kind of pious activities, ultimately he gets to the higher planets, but as soon as the balance of this pious activities is over, he returns to this material world and again enters into the cycle of birth and death. So actions, but his actions are pious because he is conscious of God. Mode of passion, I have just explained about. He is over ambitious, he wants to possess more and more, dominate, wants respect from society, so many other things. Passion. And mode of ignorance, the actions are foolish. He does not know what he is doing. He doesn't know mode of goodness. He is always indolent. He is lazy. He is lethargic. He is sleepy. He is intoxicated most of the times. And the result is so many miseries follow him. So as I mentioned, mode of goodness, it is happiness, is characterized by happiness. Person is happy that I have done it pious. I have done a lot of charity, penance, or maybe austerity, or I built a hospital, all these kind of things. Then mode of passion, explanation is already given, that person is very, very active, doing lot of endeavor and activity to earn more and more and possess more and more. And the mode of ignorance, they are foolish. They do not want to proceed towards a spiritual life. They want to remain in the material life, and their destination is lower hellish planets. So you can see these pictures define the different modes where things are happening. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Tatra sattvam nimalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode develop knowledge, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. Hare
As I said,
Krishna.
even the mode of goodness is not perfect. Krishna says, rise above these three modes. So they have taken mode of goodness first. What happens in mode of goodness? One has a discrimination power. He wants to achieve knowledge. And what is that knowledge? That I am not body, I am the soul, and super soul is present in my Lord, is present in my heart. So such people are, in fact, they are pious. They perform a lot of good activities. They become proud of their knowledge, and they derive happiness also, that they are able to do these things. This kind of happiness, this kind of charity I have done. I've fed so many people. I have distributed so many blankets during winters to street people uh, sleeping on the pavement without any clothes. And so this kind of happiness, which is derived from doing this kind of charity, is also binding. Now, the knowledge, the possession of knowledge, possession of being happy, and because such person, they have an improved living condition also. So these all factors, they are again binding. Their activities become fruitive activities, and they become sakam karma. They are not nishkam karma. The result is these people, because of possessing better knowledge, because doing charitable work, and because of their good pious activities, they rise to the higher planets, but ultimately they come back to material world and re-enter. They are not able to rise to the transcendental level because they become satisfied with whatever charitable work they are doing. So that is a binding factor. So this is mentioned, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. That means their soul becomes, even a mode of goodness, they become bound by their actions. So that it becomes sakam karma. Yes, Mataji.
Pros and cons of the mode of goodness in attaining liberation. Pros. He is wiser, not much affected by material miseries, has a sense of advancement in knowledge, material, spiritual, always happy, free from sinful reactions, with a pure, illuminated life. Example, a Brahmana. Cons. He is conditioned to feel he is advanced in knowledge. Pride seeps in due to improve life and material positions on material platform. Sometimes hankering for appreciation and praise may develop. Binding with the mode of goodness becomes a hurdle with no near hope of liberation and entry into spiritual world. Keep on changing bodies life after life, scientists, philosophers, etc. Illusion of material energy keeps them happy, contented. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So these are the pros and cons. The benefit or advantages or the positive aspects are they are wise because they possess knowledge. They suffer less from material miseries. They do less sinful activities, and they become advanced. They consider themselves advanced from as compared to other entities, and they derive happiness. So deriving this happiness, the feeling that I am superior to others, I'm doing this great work, and sometimes so these factors result into binding of the soul, and they condition the soul. Once the conditioning of soul is there, pride is there, then person has hankering for more material advancement and also sense gratification. And after that, being a pious person, though he attains higher planets, but he keeps on returning to material world and assuming different body. Now, this is the status of a person who is in mode of passion. You see, this person is bending because the load of work is so much on him that constantly he is working. And the outcome of this constant working or endeavor is too much endeavor is that there is lot of money. And lot of money means that he wants to make his family happy. Not only family happy, but also improve his living condition by having a very good house, so many cars, many nice dresses, and so many other material comforts. So this person is, since his mode of work is always activity, endeavor, and enjoyment, sense gratification, he comes back to Earth, he takes birth, he doesn't go to higher planets, he remains in the material planets and keeps on taking repeated birth in this material world because desire is never fulfilled. He is continuously desiring for more and more sense gratification and more material achievements. So this, yes, Mataji, this about,
Yes.
I described it before you read this sloka. Yes, Mataji.
Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this one is bound to material fruitive
So
activities.
we have discussed
Hare
this thing
Krishna.
only. He keeps on working activities by which he is earning, and he wants more and more money, more and more material comfort, more and material objects, more and more sense gratification. So these fruitive activities bind his soul like in this manner. Yes, Mataji, this is further explanation of.
Yeah. Begins with the mutual attraction between man and woman. Unlimited desires bind to material fruitive actions. Hankering for sensual sense gratification, material enjoyment. Desire or sometimes demand for honor, recognition, social prestige. Family-centric, though not adequately God consciousness, does some philanthropic work. Working with the above goals, no question of getting liberated due to entanglement in repeated cycles of birth and death. Example, most mundane people, results of their actions are miserable.
So
Hare
these,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. So these are the attributes. What is the outcome of such a person who is in a mode of passion? He is always hankering, he has desire, he is always thinking about his family welfare, or sometimes he might do some philanthropic activities like opening a hospital or doing some kind of charity work. But that is in order to attain certain kind of prestige in society. It is not, but this activity is not being performed, charity is not being performed as a part of his duty towards the society. But he considered that if I donate so many thousand rupees to a temple or build some dharmshala or something, some charitable institution, then my name will be prominently displayed. So this person is in a mode of passion, is always desiring fruits from his activities, and when fruitive activity is performed, then person becomes, because of endeavor, repeated birth and death in this material world takes place. So he does not rise, though he knows about the God and he knows about the spiritual platform, but he never tries to attain them because he is happy and satisfied in his own world of passion. Yes, Mataji, this was what's it. This is about ignorance.
Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhyas tannibhatnati bharata. O son of Bharata, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul.
Thank you.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
a person who is in mode of ignorance is in a state of delusion. He doesn't know that he is not body. He is just hankering for sense gratification, maybe in a wrong manner even. He is always looking for his self-enjoyment. He doesn't think of Krishna at all. He doesn't want anything to do with Lord Krishna or the Supreme Soul or Soul. He is looking after material comforts. So three words have been used about the madness. What does madness mean? He's not crazy. Madness, not literal meaning about madness. Madness is he is mad after accumulating material comforts and mad after material objects, maybe intoxicants even. So mad accumulating money and not, he doesn't care for the eternal spirit because he is not bothered about. So he is mad after material comfort and material objects. Then there is indolence. Indolence means kind of laziness. He is lazy. He doesn't want to come out of his vicious cycle of ignorance. He remains lazy and he's not interested if even somebody is inviting him for a spiritual spiritual feast. Like we know that is in ISKCON every temple has a Sunday feast where people are invited. I mean, the feast is taken to people's home also as a prasadam and distributed, or many people are invited in such a home, and then lot many people share this prasadam. So, but a person who is in more ignorance, he will not like to come in contact with these people. He will not like to rise to the spiritual platform. And third word is use is sleep. Sleep, literally it means ignorance. Now, but this person, because he becomes addict to intoxicants, so he doesn't, normal person, 6 hours sleep is enough for a normal person who is not doing physical labor. But such person, because indolent, he's lazy, all the time sleeping, all the time enjoying himself with some kind of intoxicants, alcohol or other drugs. So he's sleeping for 10 to 12 hours. And even daytime, he would like to sleep, continue his sleeping. So he is such a person ultimately becomes very much miserable, suffers lot of miseries, and in fact, he becomes dejected ultimately and takes up to further vicious, measures in order to keep himself happy in this world. So we'll stop here. This is description of person who is in mode of ignorance. Yes, Mataji.
Deluded living entities dwelling in darkness, characterized by madness, indolence, sleepiness, and laziness. Lack foresightedness, relentlessly endeavor for money and material. Due to lack of spirituality, does not realize he is racing after the perishables. Does not even consider life is ephemeral, belongings and relations too are short-lived. Generally addicted to intoxicants, moods unstable, sometimes dejected, frustrated when things do not go the right way. Whatever he does is neither good for him or others. Actions are foolish. Animal cow killing will take them to hellish planets, ignorant that the animal they kill will be waiting to kill them in next life, or degraded to birth in animal community. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. So this is the fate, the features and fate of a person who is in mode of ignorance. It is horrible to read even this paragraph. They are degraded to birth in lower. That means they take birth in animals family, or maybe even hellish planets or lower planets. They are ignorant. They kill animals. They see such people in meat eating people. They are in mode of ignorance, because the animal one who is being killed is also part and parcel of Lord, a creation of Lord. So you're killing a creation of Lord, and the killing is a very, very big sin. So, and what happens? This is mentioned in our scriptures, that animal whom one kills in this life, the same animal kills you in the next life. So, but these people are ignorant. Their mode of ignorance, they do not know this mode. Mood is never stable. They are never fixed ideas. They don't have any fixed timetable or routine schedule. They are addicted to intoxicants. And when, one gets intoxicated, the power of discrimination goes with him. So he's always, in a state of dejection or confusion. He sleeps more. He's very lazy, and he doesn't want to proceed into the spiritual mode of life, and he doesn't thinks about future, never thinks about future. He's not foresighted. He doesn't, had he been foresighted, he would have seen what is going to happen after I leave this body. So he's totally ignorant, and ultimately, as I mentioned, that indolent, sleepy, and mad, and lethargic, intoxicated, always sleeping. So these are features of mode of passion. Now we will stop here. This is verse number 8. This is verse number 8. Just hold on. मितेश अभी जरा 5 मिनट में कॉल करता हूँ, क्लास चल रही है. So you can see the fate of, in mode of goodness, happiness, knowledge, pride, social standing, social achievement. In passion, lot of activity, lot of sense gratification, lot of comforts, lot of physical comforts, and lot of endeavor to activity to earn more and more and more. Sometimes one knows that he can rise to the platform of spirituality, but doesn't make any effort because he doesn't want to come out of his comfort zone. And this is the fate of modern ignorance. So this is how our soul becomes bound by three modes of material nature. And soul by itself was, Mataji just not told, is Satchit Anand. It is eternal, blissful, full of knowledge, because it is part of Lord. But the rope of these modes binds the soul, and one becomes content, soul becomes conditioned, and accordingly the individual becomes starts behaving in that particular manner in which mode he is. So this is a philosophical knowledge, and this Lord says that this knowledge, those many sages, they have attained perfection of life, that is liberation from this cycle of birth and death by attaining this knowledge. So we'll end here because repeated interruptions. I'm sorry, internet was not working properly, Mataji. So please forgive. Can't help. We'll stop here. Any questions? I posted the attendance link in the chat box. Please fill in the attendance before you leave. Any questions, quick question or opinion or correction, you are welcome. Riya Mataji, Richa Jain Mataji did not join today, perhaps. Yes, I'm Prabhat Sheila Mataji. Riya Mataji, any suggestion or anything you would like to add?
Nothing, Prabhuji. It went off well.
Thank you, Mataji. So we become conditioned, and this conditioning forces us to behave in a particular mode of manner. A person who is intoxicated would never like listen to would never like to eat prasadam, never like to sing glory of Lord Krishna. Similarly, a person who is very busy, very active, and wants a lot of social respect and prestige in the recognition in society has no time to think of his spirituality, but he possesses the knowledge. Similarly, a person in goodness, Lord says, Krishna, Lord, the person in mode of goodness, we know, is very happy. He is proud of his knowledge. He possesses Lord, he has a superiority complex. He considers himself that he is better placed. So out of this pride and knowledge and superiority complex, he becomes happy. And this happiness again binds the soul. So even happiness is not good. So when we are doing any kind of charity, we should not derive any kind of pleasure from it. We should consider it as our duty to help others. It is our duty because if we are feeding birds, providing water to the birds in the summer, that it is our duty because Lord has given us this thing to serving others. It is, we are not doing any great work. It is our duty. When a charity work done is a duty, it is a mode of transcendence. So this is a practical application of what we have heard today. We'll continue tomorrow. In fact, Mataji, after tomorrow, I shall be traveling to US and I shall be there for 3 months almost. And I shall be continuing to take classes. While during traveling, maybe there is some interruption for 2 days or 3 days. I can't say. I'll post in the group, so please remain on the lookout. And please, I'll try to take up the remaining part in tomorrow's class in Delhi. But after tomorrow, there shall be a gap of 2 or 3 days, might be. I'm not sure how many.
Prabhuji, tomorrow is Narsimha Saturdasi. So,
in the evening, there is a program in the temple?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji.
So we can have a off if you wish so. That means today is last class, and 23rd night, midnight, or 24th, 23rd, 1:30 a.m. on 24th, I'm traveling to US. So that means another 2 days tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably.
Maybe next Monday.
Yeah, probably next Monday. So please bear with me for my absence.
Bon voyage, Prabhuji.
Thank
Bon
you.
voyage.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Which place, Prabhuji, you are going?
Thank you, Mataji. My daughter, which I'm going to Washington, D.C. in Virginia.
Oh.
My daughter
Okay.
is in Ashburn. So
Okay.
during summer period, normally I go stay with
Yeah.
her.
Have a good time,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Mataji. Thank you so much for your kind wishes, Mataji. Thank you. So, Vancha Kalu Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Vijay Patita Nam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anant Ko Vaishnav ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai, Shri Bhagvat Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to devotees, Matajis and Prabhujis. Thank you very much for your association this evening. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Safe journey.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.